Great. You're listening to ABC Far North.
So yes, the federal government is planning to return JobSeeker to the old base rate pretty much after December of this year. But there are new figures out showing that it's places like far north Queensland that will be hardest hit by this snapback, as it's being described by many people. Linda Burney is the Shadow Minister for Families and Social Services, and she's with us now. Thank you for coming on.
Good morning.
So take us through these numbers. Basically, it seems to show that there's something like 28 Australians currently receiving these unemployment payments for every one job vacancy that exists in the regions. Is that correct?
That's correct. There are about 12 people on JobSeeker for every one job in the cities, but when you get to regional Australia, and particularly places like far north Queensland, there are something like 28 people who are on JobSeeker. That is, that they are unemployed, that are looking for work, and there is one job for every 28 people. Now that's an average, and obviously it's worse in some areas than 28 people.
And that means it's essentially, using those numbers, 2.5 times as difficult to find a job as it is in Brisbane compared to a place like far north Queensland.
Oh, absolutely. And what Labor is saying very much, and you covered it in your introduction, to snap back job seeker to the old base rate of New Start at Christmas time, but to announce a permanent increase to JobSeeker. We know even pre-pandemic that people were absolutely struggling to even put food on the table on the old base rate of around about $40 a day.
So where would the Labor Party like to see it sit? Because obviously after September it does get reduced to a degree.
So at the moment, if you're on JobSeeker, you are receiving a coronavirus supplement, which is $500 a fortnight. That will go back to $250 a fortnight. I think it's about the 24th of September or somewhere around about there. And Labor hasn't set a figure and has done that very deliberately. That's the responsibility of the government. Obviously, it's not being ignored, but we are saying very clearly that not only is there fewer jobs in regional areas, that sort of snapback is going to have a devastating effect on the economy and on small businesses, and you're going to literally be able to see it in regional areas.
Linda Burney, there has been a lot of at least anecdotal evidence, and we've had a lot of it on this program too, about employers finding it in fact difficult to get people into jobs because of this increased job seeker rate. That idea of there being a disincentive with a rate that's quite a lot higher. Does Labor have an idea as how to deal with that issue?
Well, I don't accept that argument. I think that's a very easy and simple argument to make, that the rate of job seeker is disincentivising people to get work, and I just don't think that's true. I've never met an unemployed person who doesn't desperately want to work. It's not just about money, it's about pride, it's about contribution, and very often where there are vacancies is where there's seasonal work, for example, getting a harvest off meatworks, and many of those industries rely on casual labour. They rely on people coming in from other countries to do that seasonal work. Now, under JobSeeker, there is mutual obligation, and that is that if you are offered a job that's reasonable, then you have to take that job.
All right, Linda Burney, really appreciate the time this morning. We'll see how this plays out over the coming weeks.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time. That is the Shadow Minister for Families and Social Services, Linda Burney.